Today, I'm gonna be using this pan to make focaccia. Recently, I used this pan to make a cake, and today I wanna make bread because the cake didn't quite turn out how I wanted it to, and I love bread, and someone suggested making focaccia in here. I thought it would be a great idea to actually make an olive focaccia using the different parts of the flour as a guide of where to put the olives. I'm not sure it'll work. My last experiment did not work, but I am optimistic that it will work today. The recipe I'm gonna be using today is from this book that my mom got me when I was like 13, and I've kept it all these years, and I love this herb focaccia recipe. I'm gonna modify it just a little bit, but I'm really excited because it is a really good recipe. For the sake of time and ease, I am gonna be using my KitchenAid mixer today. Let's make this dough. One time I forgot to put salt in my bread and it was devastating because I made not one, but 2 loaves. And when I tasted it, I was like, what a waste of time. So we're not gonna forget the salt today. Now we mix. Look at this dough. All right. So now we're just gonna add the herbs and also knead in the herbs. Now, the recipe does call for fresh herbs and quite a lot of them. Unfortunately, that's pretty expensive. So I'm just gonna be using dried herbs and about half what the recipe calls for, but I think that's gonna be okay because we're also gonna add the olives. Using a KitchenAid makes kneading dough so much quicker. And I feel like we have a pretty good consistency right now. I would say it's a little sticky. Let's see. Okay, I am able to do the window test through it, which means I can see light without the dough falling apart. And that's about as technical as my bread knowledge is. So I would say that this dough is good and it's time for it to rise. So, ooh, I should not do that in this top. One-handed, I'm a pro. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil into this bowl so that the dough doesn't stick. I'm gonna place our dough inside, and then I like to just give the dough a spin so that it really gets coated in that olive oil and it won't stick to the sides when you try to take it out. At least it won't stick as much. It needs to rise in a warm place for about an hour and a half. Now, I actually have a couple appointments I have to get to today, so I'm thinking about putting the dough in the fridge. If you actually start your bread dough in the morning before you go to work or school, and then you put it in the fridge for that 8-hour period that you're gone, and you come back, your bread is probably risen just enough so that it's ready to go on to the next step in your recipe. And that is the biggest hack that I think I found out recently, so I thought I might share it with you. I'm probably gonna put this in the fridge for while I'm gone, and then I'll take it out and let the rest of it rise at room temperature. Our bread has risen, now it's time to knead it just a little bit more before we put it in the pan. All right, it's looking good here. So it needs to rise for another 10 minutes before we put it in the pan, and then we can move on. So I've been thinking about how to use the olives with this pan. Now, these are the canned black olives that I'm gonna use for the focaccia, and the olives are about the perfect size of the petals. So the plan is to cut the olive in half lengthwise to be the right size of the petal, and then cut the olive into thirds for the very top or the center of the flower. Again, not sure if this is gonna work, but I am pretty optimistic. And I'm only gonna do a few of the flowers right here in the center. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to make 9 flowers with olives. Okay, so I'm going to use oil and this pastry brush to brush the pan with olive oil to make sure the bread hopefully doesn't stick. I just put the oil in the pan, and now I'm gonna place the olives into the impressions of the flowers. I am a little concerned because some of the olives are significantly larger than some of the other olives, and they are barely fitting in the petals, but I'm still optimistic. Like, that one is barely fitting. Okay. Some of these are like massive, these olives. I'm wondering if I should cut them down. I think I might need to do that. Yeah, I think that might be the right call. Okay. We have our prepared pan and our dough is ready to be placed inside. This is the part I'm most nervous about because I really don't want to mess up this pattern, but we're gonna do it. I'm trying to make the dough about the same size as the pan so that I can just place it in there. That's the goal, is just to place this dough inside the pan. I'm so nervous. Oh no. Oh, I can feel them moving. Okay, okay. Stay, 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 stay. Okay. All right. I think that could have gone worse. I definitely think that could have gone worse. I'm still optimistic here. I am still very hopeful. I need to spread this dough out just a tad, place the oil, make the dimples, so there's still a lot of room for error to happen, but I am optimistic. Time to pull it out. I did check on it partway through and it was looking pretty good. Smells good. Look at that. Oh, it looks so good and it smells so good. I'm really excited to flip it over and see how it looks. I'm not actually 100% sure how to do this since I've actually never done it this way before, but we're gonna try it like this and see. Okay, moment of truth. Okay. Yes, we did it. Yay! Oh my goodness, look. Look at this, guys. It looks like flowers. Oh, finally. I'm so excited. Here we go. It's really good. I love the herbs and the sea salt. You can't really taste the olives too much, but it's so good. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.